Hi there guys, welcome to another video. So today we are looking at the Warcry Stormcast Eternal box. This is for the Vanguard chamber. Now before I carry on, I can confirm that I have checked the details of these cards with the card pack that came out last year and the Tome of Champions, and everything is present and correct. There is no changes at all. So in terms of the Warband itself and what we get in that box, we get to make up almost all of the models. You'll have to do a little bit of kit bashing to get the Hunter Prime and the Vanguard Hunter. And the reason is that they use the same parts of the kit that you don't get duplicates of. So there's a little bit of kit bashing involved there. You're in similar territory as well to make up one of the other models as well. So there's a few options where you maybe don't get all of the exact items on the sprue, but you can definitely kit bash all of this stuff. And there's still enough stuff to make another 3 models on top of what we've got here, as well as there's actually 3 of the long strikes in there. So let's start with the Vanguard Raptor with long strike crossbow. So there's the model. Very good. So there's an option to make 3 of these. It's got another 2 of these bases. But obviously if you make 3 of these, you cannot make everything else that's already here. Okay, and let's take a look at the card. So 225 cost, which is steep. Movement of 4, which isn't great. 20 wounds, which is okay, and a toughness of 5, which is really good. The ranged weapon, 6 to 20. So we've got a 6 to 20 on that crossbow, and he does have a melee weapon, which has only got a 1-inch range. Now the 6 to 20, he only rolls 1 dice for it, so that is poor, but it is strong, and it does deal a really, really good amount of damage. So on a 3, 4, or 5 against a weaker opponent, you'll score 4 hits, and then a crit scores 10 damage. That's amazing. And then again, his melee weapon, rolling 3 dice on a strength 4, which is good, doing 1 and 4 damage. So not bad. Then we'll look at the Raptor Prime with long strike crossbow. That's how the model looks. Very good. Very good indeed. Okay, so he's another fairly expensive character. 280 points. So a movement of 4, toughness of 5, 30 wounds, so that's very good. 6 to 20 again with only 1 dice. Toughness 5, and again 4 and 10 damage. It's brutal. But you know, luckily there's only 1 dice to go with that. Although I'm sure that some of these abilities will allow him to roll more. And the melee is exactly the same as the guy we looked at previously. Range of 1, 3 dice to roll, strength 4, and 1 and 4 damage. Good. Next we'll look at the Hunter Prime. So again, 210 cost, 4, 5, and 30 for movement, toughness, and health. Then we've got his ranged weapon has got a range of 8, rolling 3 dice on a strength of 4, doing 1 and 4 damage. And then the melee weapon, range of 1, rolling 4 dice on a strength 4, 2 and 4 damage. So good stuff. And his model is also cool. So you had the option to make him either with that sort of human head, or with the same head that's on this unit, which we'll look at in a minute. Okay, so that's good. Next we'll look at the Ether Wing, or Aether Wing. So again, we get 3 of these models. They are nice, but they are flimsy as hell. So, in fact, they're really flimsy, and there's no chance of pinning that if it gets snapped. So, be careful. Okay, so the cheapest unit in the Warband, cost of just 45, movement of 12, which is really good, 6 wounds, which is poor as hell, and just a 2 toughness. So yeah, do not get into combat with this. 1-inch range, 3 dice rolls, Strength of just 2, that's the lowest I've seen. It's crazy. Doing 1 and 2 damage. So strictly not for combat. Next we'll look at the Vanguard Raptor with Hurricane Crossbow. Which is this fella here. Nice. Okay, so how does he fare? Cost of 185. 5 toughness, which is good. Only 4 movement again. 20 wounds. So the 3 to 15 range combat rolls 3 dice on a strength 4 and a 2 and 6 damage. And then the melee, 1 inch range, 3 dice, 4 strength on 1 and 4 damage. Now, I actually would much prefer to roll that ranged weapon than one that only rolls 1 dice. Alright, so you can do 10 damage on a crit, you've got a 6 in 1 chance of getting through. So, anyway, so that's him. Next up, we'll look at the Vanguard Hunter. Now, so this isn't the exact sculpt. The thing that really gets it there is the helmet that's on now. However, the weapon and the sword are for that guy, as is the cape and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's have a look at his stats. 165 cost, movement 4 again, 20 wounds, toughness 5. His ranged weapon is 8 inches, rolling 3 dice on a strength 4 and a 1 and 4, not bad. And then he's up close, range of 1, 4 dice, strength 4, 2 and 4 damage. Good. That is good. No abilities. Okay, Raptor Prime with Hurricane Crossbow, which we don't have a model for here, although you could definitely not get this exact model, but you could kit bash one of those with what we've got left. 245 cost, so that is steep. Movement 4, 30 wounds, and 5 toughness, which is very good. 3 to 15 range is 3 dice rolled on a strength 4, dealing 2 and 6. And then he's up close, he's a 1 inch range. 3 rolls on a strength 4, doing 1 and 4. So that is good. And finally, to top it off, we've got our Griff Hound. Anyone who catches this from watching my Mortal Realms reviews will already have one, because it came with that Castigator box. So he has got a movement of 6, which isn't bad, 20 wounds, which isn't bad, and a toughness of 4. He's got a range of 1, rolling 4 dice and a strength 4, doing 2 and 4. So that broadly, I think, is very good. So if a quick tot up tells me that on a crit, none of these guys do less than 4 damage, and they do as much as 6 and 10, which is incredible. So that is really tough going. If you're up against that and you face a few crits, you are getting your arse kicked pretty quickly. So let's have a look at the abilities. So we've got Tireless Hunters, which is an ability that can be done by every single unit. Add half the value of this ability rounding up to the move characteristic of the fighter for the next move action they make this activation. So that is not for both actions of the activation, just for one of them. Then we've got another double one, which is Warning Cry, and that is available to the Ether Wing and the Raptor Prime with Long Strike Crossbow. Pick a visible enemy fighter within 6 inches of this fighter. Until the end of the battle round, you can re-roll 1 dice during attack actions made by friendly fighters that target that fighter. Okay, so that's pretty good. If you're looking to take down a specific model, it's good for kind of giving everyone a leg up on that. Then we've got another double, Righteous Aura, which can be done by our Hunter Prime. Our Raptor Prime with Hurricane Crossbow, and that's it. Until the end of the battle round, add 1 to the toughness characteristic of fighters when they are within 6 inches of this fighter. So a lot of these guys have got really good toughness anyway. So we've got 5s in there, 4s become 5s, 5s become 6s. So that does make them really tough. It will have to help out our little Aether Wing, who's only got a toughness 2. Okay, now we've got Darting Attack, which is a triple, and it is open only to our Griff Hound. This fighter makes a bonus attack, then they can make a bonus disengage action. Okay, so that's pretty good. So you can get in, do your attack, get a bonus attack, and then disengage. So that is very, very good for him. And he's got 20 wounds as well, so that is that's cool. Like it. Okay, then we've got another triple, which is Rapid Fire, which is available to our Vanguard Raptor with Hurricane Crossbow and our Raptor Prime with Hurricane Crossbow. Add half the value of this ability rounding up to the attack characteristic of the next attack action by this fighter this activation. So if you roll a 6, a triple 6, you could be doing, so you could be rolling 6 dice on a strength 4, potentially on crits doing 6 with him, and then with this guy it's the same. So that's a really good ability. And then finally we've got Aimed Strike, which is available to Vanguard Raptor with Long Strike Crossbow, and the Raptor Prime with Long Strike Crossbow. And that is add the value of this ability to the damage points allocated to enemy fighters with each hit or critical hit from attack actions made by this fighter this activation. Okay, and that is not limited to within 3 inches like a lot of these attacks are. That is everything. So again, if that was a 6, I know it's unlikely to have a quad of 6, but you know, if you're rolling 3 dice for him, 3 dice for him, you know, that is a lot. That is a lot of damage that you can deal. Okay, so that is a pretty tough warband there. They've all got good wounds. They all deal a lot of damage. The abilities are good, however, there's not a massive amount of versatility in terms of there's only 1 or 2 cards that can use some of these abilities, and in fact most of them there's only 1 fighter that you can actually use for it, and if he's not in your warband you don't get to use it. But it is a very good one, and to be fair, anyone who's played a bit of Warcry will have come up against this warband a few times and probably got their asses handed to them as well. So they are tough. They are one of the sort of higher echelon or higher powered warbands. But there you go. I think it's good. We'll quickly take a look at the coloured tokens that they've got. So these ones are blue. So the Nighthaunt ones were purple. The Gloomspite Gits one were green. And these ones are blue. And they are really cool. I think it is a really nice touch to have the different coloured tokens for the different factions. So I'm pretty sure that blue will be the colour for all of the kind of alliance ones. Purple will be for all of the death. And green will be for all the destruction. But there you go. So I think it's a decent warband. These are okay models. I'll be honest with you, I'm not overly fond of Stormcast Eternals, but this is good, and they are a tough warband. So I will come back to you very soon because I've got all of the different ones for the card packs, which I will be reviewing very, very quickly. So this is for the second wave of card packs. If people want to see reviews of the first wave of card packs which came out last year, let me know and I will go back to them. If enough people ask for them, I will definitely do them. I will also be doing reviews of all of the card packs that come out this weekend because we've got another 8 coming out. If you want to see that content along with reviews of the Formoid Crusher and the Mind Stealer Phalanx and that kind of thing, be sure to subscribe and I will see you very soon. See ya.